Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Coreco Couch with me, Monty. Really delighted to have you back. And we're talking today about a subject that is dear to, well, everyone's hearts, which is first-time buyers and technology and all of that combined. Well, we're talking about loads of stuff, but you know the format by now. I'm delighted today to be joined by not one but two guests. Look at my lovely guests. I'm glad that, Paddy, you got the blue shirt memo. So yes. Very good. Well done. So we have Paddy Doyle, who is the corporate account lead at Gen H, and we have the wonderful Sara Palmer, who, and I'm going to read your job description here, is, where did I put it? The Sales and Distribution Director of Gen H.
That
Welcome.
Is correct. Thank you.
Delighted to have you both here.
Thank you for having us.
It's how you've
got double trouble.
Double trouble.
Yeah.
Well, with you, I always get double trouble. Just so the audience knows, I've known Sara for a long, long time. When you were about this,
Probably,
I remember you when you were about this big.
Yeah, very long time.
I know. So it's amazing I've got you on actually because I know your trouble. But anyway, it should make for a good episode. So Gen H. Not allowed to say Generation Home, but just have.
Gen H.
But it is Gen H, a tech-led lender.
Correct.
Do you want to say a bit about Gen H, first of all?
Yeah, of course.
Tell me what you do.
So, as you say, we are a fintech mortgage lender. And it was born out of the founders who, 6 years ago now, I believe, were struggling themselves in order to find, as first-time buyers, solutions to buying their first home. A couple of very clever people, and who thought, well, it shouldn't be this difficult. So actually, we'd love to do something pretty dramatic to bring more solutions and more availability to first-time buyers. So let's build it ourselves. And that's exactly what they did. So it's a fintech business mortgage lender, meaning that everything we do is built ourselves in-house with our own software engineers. And we're not having to be reliant on third parties, on legacy systems, all of those things which actually can make it quite constrained in how you lend money and what you can do. So it's meant that we started as an innovative lender. So we started with a hero product, which is Income Booster. We'll come on to that in more detail.
I love that. Hero product.
Hero product.
And it is a hero product.
And that was the one that basically, that was the start of the business. And we've gone on from there to build other innovative solutions. So the idea being that where we see something that needs fixing, by being innovative, then that's what we do. So we've got several things that, again, we can go into more detail of what they look like.
So I remember sitting with your founders. Before they launched and them explaining. And I do remember this, and I will say, they blew me away with their passion, which was great, I was like, whoa, not sure I quite understand what you're doing. But after a while, it was like, wow, this is what's needed.
Yeah.
Something so different than the normal run-of-the-mill high street lenders.
Exactly.
It does something a little bit different.
And I guess to give a bit more context about why I'm here. So Paddy's actually been with Gen H longer than I have. I've only been here for 6 months, but I've been in the industry a very long time. Hence, we've known each other a very long time and have been in that more conventional lender space. And the reason I came and what I absolutely loved was that thinking outside the box and actually then delivering on it. So we've all spent years trying to think outside the box, have we not? Yeah. But being able to actually deliver on it is a game changer. And I haven't really been somewhere that's had that ability and that, the agility and the speed and just the system ownership and ability to do it yourself. So for me, that and the passion, what you've just said there is what I saw when I was having those initial conversations. Yeah. The purpose of why we're here is very clear. The passion in everybody that works at Gen H is very clear. We definitely needed to broaden our presence. So we want more people to understand who we are, what we do, and that we are offering here solutions that won't be available elsewhere.
And Paddy, you've been there, how long have you been there?
Well, this is my second time at Gen H, actually. So I was here when we were a real startup about sort of five years ago or so, and then rejoined about 9 months back.
And how have you seen the change in... Yeah,
it's been really exciting. So we had our hero product, Income Booster, when I first started. And then during that time, over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, we've really innovated in bringing new products to market, because fundamentally there's a real challenge for aspiring homeowners that are locked out of owning a home due to affordability challenges or having complex needs that oftentimes other lenders can't support. So being able to really sort of design those products with first-time buyers in mind and actually execute on them, bring them to market to enable more people to buy a home for the first time is really exciting.
And we don't just help first-time buyers, I think worth noting. Our products aren't just there for first-time buyers, but very much that was why we started. But we do help other people, and those innovative solutions can work in other scenarios. But ultimately, first-time buyers is... why we were brought to market.
So, hero product, and this isn't like a promo. It's not that type of show. However, that Income Boost product is, I can hear people at home going, so what the hell is this Income Boost product? How can it help me? So if people are at home watching and think, actually, I'm looking at getting on the property ladder and I just can't seem to get there.
Yeah.
How can you guys help then?
So this is where affordability does remain probably the biggest challenge still, as you'll know, for aspiring homeowners, like we've said. So this is a type of product that means you can utilise the help of mum or dad or family member, even friends. This is where it sort of increases your buying power by adding in the income of those parties, but they won't be on the deeds of the property.
Yeah.
So it greatly increases your buying power, and it might be that's the bit that you live in an area where actually the property price is just out of your reach.
Yeah.
That gives you the buying power to then meet that need. But 92% of the income boosters with our customers don't actually pay towards the mortgage.
Oh, 92%. Right, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
So they're there to boost your ability, but these people can actually afford to pay.
The reality
is they can afford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, actually. Yeah. That's a great stat.
It's a great
stat.
That.
I think to bring it to life a bit more with some numbers was actually a case that I was looking at with a mortgage advisor last week, where we had a sole applicant earning £30,000, which is fairly typical across the UK. On their own, they could borrow about 150 to 180,000, including all other lenders, which in their area meant that they could buy a one-bed house, and they could only look at properties that were a one-bed flat or one-bed flat in their area, which really restricted their opportunity to transact and actually buy a home. But actually, by adding on an income booster, on average, you can borrow about £60,000 more per income booster. You can have up to 5 income boosters technically, but very commonly we just see sort of 1 or 2 income boosters. But by having that additional income booster, it means that you can expand your property search to a 2-bed flat or a 2-bed house or even a 3-bed, and also make the most of your first-time buyer stamp duty status at the same time.
That's really good. Clever. Like that.
I also see it as a way of maybe you can buy a property, but you're having to compromise on what you can buy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so actually,
you always compromise on something.
Don't compromise, because if you're buying that 1 bed, but actually in the near future you are going to need the 2 bed, the cost of having to then sell and buy again is huge.
Yeah.
So why not compromise from the beginning? And over time, that income booster or income boosters, you can have up to 6 people on a mortgage on an income booster, can then be removed, and off you go. It's that way of getting you onto the ladder.
So it's interesting at the moment because we're in a, and I won't date stamp this too much, but we're in a sort of a strange period of time, aren't we?
We are.
We're actually looking at the start of 2026. It was thought that actually this would be quite a really big year for first-time buyers.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of people who are now looking at the cost of rent and thinking, God, this is this is really a lot.
It's hard.
It's increasing all the time. And actually, mortgage rates have come down to a more affordable level.
Yeah.
I know we're in some strange times at the moment.
Yep.
But what's the sense you feel of where first-time buyers are, and what are they? Do they understand what is needed? Because we see a lot of people seem to think, actually, I'm going to go to my bank. The bank might say no, and then that's it. But actually, there's a whole world out there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there are stats that show, for example, some research that I've recently read, there were 3 million people that would have bought but didn't think they could. I think these are people that aren't even coming forward potentially.
Yeah.
Yes, some of them may have spoken to their bank. There might be some who've done nothing because they just think, they look at the headline, you know, how difficult it is, average house price, all of these headlines which make it look really scary. So perhaps these people aren't even coming forward. And those that maybe are coming forward or going to their bank actually need to be looking and understanding at the wider solutions such as ours. And that is where the broker is absolutely paramount because you've got all that expert advice and knowledge. Yeah.
Thank you.
Picking you up here. But it's true, but it's absolutely true. You know, never before has the need for advice been so important. And I think time and time again, that has been proven. If you look at COVID, if you look at all of these different, so pre-COVID, 70% roughly of mortgages were through intermediaries. You look at post-COVID and where we are now, it's around about 90%, isn't it? Even slightly more.
Yeah.
And that's just proving the point that more and more customer circumstances can be more complex. The world around us does some strange things. And navigating all of that is incredibly hard if you don't know. So having that expert advice is absolutely key.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting time, particularly as a first-time buyer, because paradoxically, it's probably the most challenging time to buy from an affordability standpoint. But actually, there's so many options out there that aren't really offered by high street lenders that can get people into homes that are really only accessible via brokers. I mean, we're an intermediary-only lender, so you can only, because of probably the complexity of what we can do, it's only right to offer those through intermediaries and advisors like yourselves. So speaking to an advisor would be a massive first step. I think we were looking at some, I was reading a report recently, it was from the Building Societies Association, that 47% of people in rented accommodation or people that wanted to buy a property have not engaged with a lender or a broker at all. And I can only assume that that's because people are reading headlines going, it's impossible, I won't bother then. But actually it's not always the case.
Yeah, we try and get the message out, but do you think as an industry we're actually doing enough?
I do debate this in my own head a lot, actually, because I think we do so well in the broker community. We're a broker only business. We do so well in the broker community. We all work really collaboratively, as you know, as an industry, really well. But no, it's getting to that end customer, and how do we better do that? I think that is a big question. Maybe we're not doing enough.
Yeah,
to get
it's
the
a big
message
question,
out there.
because I know government are now really, and the Chancellor's spoken about it a lot. How do we get out to those people? You mentioned 3 million people who potentially could buy but don't know. That's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
There does beg the question, do we have the properties for them?
Yes.
But again, it's all about area, isn't it? Because there are lots of people who shout at me, go, there are enough properties. People just need to look at different areas.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, how do we reach these people? That's the key. Well, we're here today to hopefully help spread the word that there are solutions out there. Just got to come and have those conversations. And when you come and see a broker, the key questions are about, am I ready? Where am I in that home buying journey? And a lot of the time, you might well be ready sooner than you think. And sometimes you might not be quite there, but that's where the broker's key, because they can help you get mortgage ready. So what things do you need to be doing in the lead up to buying your first home? Making sure you've got credit so that a lender can look at your ability to pay and all of those things. So even if, you are a few months off it, you might be ready now, but you might not, but it's still worth having the conversation to get ready.
That's really interesting. We do our educational seminars, as you know, with various businesses and firms, and we do lots of presentations. And actually, I was doing one on first time buyers, funnily enough, and I was on a panel with a first time buyer. And the first time buyer was talking about something, and she said, "Yeah, because I'm not ready to see a broker," and then carried on. I went, "Hold on. What do you mean you're not ready to see a broker?" And it was really interesting because she was saying her and all her friends and her generation, where she is in her life, they think that actually they need to get ready
before
speak
they
to
see.
an estate agent, think about what they do before they go to a broker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. The first thing you should do, and it doesn't matter. And we see people in these seminars who think that they're 2 years away or even 3 years away from buying, but they want to know how to be prepared. And actually, once they've spoken to us, the amount of times they come back to us within 6 months and go, well, now I know all this. Now I know all the options. Actually, spoken to my parents, I've spoken to my friends, and actually we're ready to do something now.
But also they need to know what you're going to be able to have that conversation with them about what can they afford before they go on their property search.
Yeah.
Because they might be going off on a wild goose chase, finding a property that's not going to be accessible. So actually understand what you can borrow through a broker, and then you can start a really serious property search.
Yeah. And then the estate agent will show you something a little bit more expensive.
But then you can use an income booster to enable you to buy that dream house.
Well, it's all about it is all about that affordability, isn't it? And I found that really interesting, that stat you said before. Actually, that's been ruminating in my head, that actually a lot of people use the income boosted, but they can actually afford it.
They can.
Does that very stat then say that the sort of affordability models out there are outdated?
Well, as you know,
because we do need, just to say, obviously you need responsible lending, and we don't want to encourage people to borrow anything they can't afford, because that's, we say no to loads of people as well.
I'm sure.
Because there's no point getting someone into a property that they can't afford.
No, none of us are in it for that. Absolutely. Well, as you know, the regulator is making great strides in this.
Yeah.
So lenders have been constrained in how they lend based on affordability, but the regulator have been listening, and the world changes, and I think they've been looking at those changes and adapting the regulation. So we are able to do more than we could, and lenders are taking that on board. So affordability is moving in the right direction. I think there's still a lot more that could be done though, but we are constrained by what we are allowed to do from a regulatory position.
That's good. Sorry. I was thinking in my head, where the hell am I going next? I don't know.
But responsible lending is, you were right to mention it, because we are here to enable someone buys a home and stays in their home. Yeah. We don't want to see anybody struggling.
So you mentioned you both mentioned there's been a lot more innovation actually in the market, and a lot of people don't know about it. And tech has driven it, certainly on your side of things.
Yep.
What sort of other bits and pieces are you coming up with? How has being a fintech allowed you to introduce some more innovative? I can never say that word.
Innovative. I do struggle as well.
Innovative.
Innovative.
Say that again.
Innovative.
That's brilliant. I can't say that.
No, but I have to really think about it before I say it, because I can also say it wrong.
So
I've
what
really
you
engaged
said,
my brain then. What I said,
really
Paddy,
good.
you take over.
Innovation.
All right, don't show off. I can't. I've got mental block on that.
We're going to test you again in a minute.
Yeah. So I think innovation and tech in general allows us as a lender to move at speed and respond to market conditions, but also helps us really understand our customers as well, to bring out products that actually are really suitable to them. So a few things that we introduced over the course of the last 6 months or so, for example, interest only, which is not a new product. Actually, back in 2005 or so, nearly 1 in 2 first-time buyers had interest-only mortgages with endowments alongside them.
That's not great.
No longer the way to go. Well, no, the thing is like things have moved on significantly since then.
Absolutely.
So we've had like things like mortgage market review, and lenders have stripped back their appetite for interest-only lending for first-time buyers. But now in a world where there are considerably more affordability challenges, actually introducing interest-only as an option to aid affordability has become a really useful tool, mainly because on interest-only you can actually borrow more in terms of your amount to the tune of about 10 to 15%. And also we are seeing more and more people saying, actually, I do need to borrow all this money to buy the house I want, but then also looking at my monthly payments is a little bit more than I expected. So having a portion of your mortgage on interest only can actually be a really good way of tailoring your monthly payments to suit your budget. I always say that if you're private renting, you're already paying an interest-only mortgage. It's just not yours.
That is a good point.
And we're not saying there's anything wrong with renting. We're not saying there's anything wrong with renting. Of course, that is an absolute natural. This is natural progression, though, that you rent for a period of time and move on to own your own home. So absolutely. Why pay somebody else's interest for longer than you need to? I think that's the key.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Whereas you can, and we see the same with things like shared ownership, for example. It's not too dissimilar in terms of you own a portion of your property and you rent a part of your own. This is fundamentally the same thing. But it means that you're building equity based on 100% of the value rather than just your share.
The challenge that I always get back, and you see it usually in the comment section of various things, is around, with all of this stuff, are you doing too much to prop up high house prices? Because actually, are we all falling for house prices are here and they're going up and they're going up, and actually we're just making it easier for people to borrow more? Is there, because I have pretty strong views around that actually the world is very, very different to what it was. And I don't see, and having worked in both environments, I don't see where now we're anywhere near the place that we were sort of, say, pre-credit crunch.
Well, absolutely not. No, I would agree with you on that. And it's too difficult without having these solutions. So no, I don't believe that it's propping up higher house prices. I think without it, without giving solutions, we've got a real problem. That we want aspiring homeowners to be able to take that step and to own their own home. And so it's absolutely right that we should be building solutions to help them achieve that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I could go off on one here, but I will.
Well, no, Paddy, go off on one.
I would choose not to.
This is Paddy's go off on one. 5 minutes.
No, I don't think lenders are propping up property prices by enabling people to own a home. I think owning a home, I mean, it shouldn't be a right, but like it's certainly something that a lot of people aspire to have, particularly in the UK. And I think that's because it gives security, not only now, but actually later in life as well, because we've seen the rise of equity release over the last sort of 10, 15 years or so. And actually people are utilising their residential property as their pension vehicle. And that's becoming more and more normal. I think there are things that are making transacting with property more challenging. Things like not building enough homes is a start, but also not building enough homes for first-time buyers. So affordable housing, we need to build more of that.
That's a whole nother
conversation.
That's a whole nother thing.
As is stamp duty as well. So I think that's a real barrier to enabling people to downsize, to then free up stock for people that are wanting to move up the ladder later down the line. So
absolutely.
I don't think lenders are propping up house prices at all. I think
and on the innovation and what we're doing, another product that we brought to market was a kind of our private replacement for Help to Buy.
Right.
So a lot of the listeners might know what Help to Buy was, and obviously that support was taken away. So we built a private version of that whereby you're buying, not building. It'd be great if we just built our own home. No, you're buying a new build home, utilising a conventional mortgage, and then an interest-free, that's the critical part, an interest-free 15% and 5% deposit.
Mm.
And this is a great product. It's available via a couple of builders at the moment. We'd love to extend that out further. But that is another really good solution that we've come up with to try and fix an area that was being supported, is no longer, and is another good solution for particularly first-time buyers.
Yeah, I think it's so important to get those solutions because, well, we just see it all the time with people who, as we said at the start, just can't buy or think they can't buy. And before these solutions came along, well, maybe they couldn't. And actually, this is something that's really interesting.
Yeah. And another nice stat is first-time buyer average age in the UK is around 34. On our income booster is 28. So that is 6 years of building your own wealth more by taking a solution like...
You've come prepared, Sarah. That's good. That's a good stat. That's a second good stat.
Yeah, full of good stats.
That's good. What other good stats you got?
That is a nice one, though, because it demonstrates that 6 years of building your own wealth.
And 6 years of not having to chase saving for a deposit as well, as property prices continue to outgrow incomes.
And pay someone else's mortgage with rent, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, that's really interesting. So where else do you think tech is going to take you guys and the market as a whole? Because everyone is expecting, well, they're not expecting, but loads of people say, oh, AI is going to change the world. We're not going to need lenders, brokers, anyone. It's just going to take over. How do you see it changing in reality?
In reality, it will enhance.
Yeah.
It won't take over, but it will absolutely enhance. And we already use AI. We're a fintech company. Of course we do. But we use it to enhance the process, enhance the journey. So what we'd like for you as brokers to do is spend more time with your clients, not tied up in legacy systems and red tape and uploading documents and, all of those things that are time consuming. If we use tech and we use AI to make all of that simpler, faster, more agile, then you've got more time to actually spend with your customers. So there will be more advancement, and there should be. So is there any other industry? Here's a question for you. Is there any other industry, I'll throw one out to you now, that would accept the time scales that we live by?
No, 100%.
There is not.
No.
There's not, because buying a home takes months.
Yeah.
And should it? No, it probably shouldn't. So there are certain points of the process which are definitely... they take longer than other parts of the process. And I think over time we will see real advancement in that. So as we see more of those parts of the journey adopting more tech, then that will certainly help. And so we will continue to use tech where tech needs to be used, but keeping that human touch. So we use tech in the process. We also do have human underwriters, and we believe that that is the perfect combination. So you use tech where tech is good, but actually let's keep the human element there, because we don't want to be a computer says yes or no. These are about customers' circumstances and individual circumstances. So to be able to utilise, ONS data and credit scoring and all of those things that we all use, but then be able to overlay it with, look at that customer's situation and make a risk-based decision on that. And we'll continue to enhance where we can on making that simpler, faster, quicker, to give you trust, certainty, and all of those things that I think are really important.
Yeah, I think AI represents real opportunity, but I think there's also quite a lot of fear around AI as well. And I think particularly when you are buying your first home or even moving or remortgaging, there's a fair bit of human reassurance that is really valuable that AI cannot provide. And it can't provide the accountability that a human advisor can either. So I find that very difficult to believe that will ever be replaced by a computer. But as Sarah says, I think using AI and tech in general to speed up decision making, to get people to the place that they would have ended up anyway, but sooner, is pretty good, and something that we should be trying to.
And there's still a bit of a danger now with AI, because I know some of our clients are using things like ChatGPT to to check some of our advice, which is absolutely fine. But some of the results it's getting are just not true.
Yeah.
I had a client I gave some advice about an offset mortgage, for example, and they came back with a ChatGPT print off saying, well, apparently all these lenders do it, and you haven't mentioned them. And actually, I knew full well that they didn't. Yeah. But I said I'd treble check and check. But actually, there's still a lot of tech-led misinformation out there at the moment. So people do need to guard against that.
I think they do. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And what I've always said is people actually, it's not mine, I probably stole it from someone, and I can't remember who said it. People don't just want to use technology, they want to use people who use technology.
There you go.
And that keeping that people bit centric is so important, because it's just that little sense check, isn't it?
Yeah.
If nothing else. And advice.
Absolutely.
And that advice piece, as you said at the start, has never been more important. Obviously, I would say that as an advisor.
But it's true. It is. Yeah. It is true.
It is absolutely
We would say it too. Yeah. Yeah.
So what would be your advice then for someone who's sat there thinking, I really want to own my own home? Where's the starting point?
The starting point is find your broker.
Pick up the phone and call your broker, or email them. Get in touch with them one way or another. Yeah.
And you might not know where to start with that, but there will be brokers in your area, national brokers, however you want to engage, whether it's face to face, whether it's on the telephone. Brokers are there to help you navigate this very complex market, this very complex decision. So I think that's the greatest advice we could give, is to seek out the advice, find out where you are in your home buying journey, and work out what steps you need to take to make that a reality.
I didn't pay you to say that.
You didn't at all. It's what we firmly believe. We are a broker-only lender. Paddy said it earlier, and it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we believe in advice.
So you've given lots of, we've spoken about your different products and that, which all sounds lovely.
Yep.
But how are you actually changing people's lives, and how are you actually really helping them?
So I did actually come with a couple of recent trust pilots, not knowing you were going to particularly ask that exact question, but we wanted to get across today how we think we are changing people's lives. And I don't mean that to sound dramatic.
Okay.
But it is.
Well, you are. I mean, we are. Yeah, absolutely.
So I actually brought a couple, because these are within, I think we'd established these were within the last 2 weeks, these ones.
Oh, really? What do you reckon? Should we let them read it?
Yeah, I think we should. I think you should let me.
Yeah.
We use Slack, which is our kind of hero communication channel. And we have a channel, communication system. We have a channel on our Trustpilot. So it just basically pings when a Trustpilot comes through, it automatically loads up and shows us. And so I'm always looking at these, and there's just a couple I'd written down. So this one, Gen H Income Booster is a lifesaver. Oh. Love that. Gen H were responsive and very helpful. Their Income Booster mortgage has enabled my 30-year-old ASD son to finally live an independent life that he has so needed to do, and which has put my own mind at rest that he will be able to cope into the future.
Brilliant.
That warmed my heart when I saw that one.
That's lovely. I like that.
And just one other. Gen H is the ultimate in mortgage lending financial services.
Did you write that one?
This is from a Paddy D. Never heard of him.
That's what I want to see.
Absolutely real. On the 17th of March, I want to use this opportunity to thank and appreciate the services rendered to me by achieving my dreams and proudly making me a homeowner. That's why we are here. That's why we exist.
I love that.
Yeah. It's heartwarming,
that's a little heart.
I
think you do it like that now.
That's very modern.
I don't.
I think that's...
I'm behind.
Yeah. Someone get in touch and tell me.
I'm behind the curve on that.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And I always say that. It is quite trite sometimes, but I do genuinely believe that all of us, and this is what I love about the industry, this is where I get all warm and cuddly, is actually you look around our industry and everyone genuinely wants to help people achieve their dreams. And owning your own home is one of those dreams. I say it's okay. So some people, it suits them better to rent for lots of different reasons,
that's fine,
and which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But owning your own home for a lot of people it just gives you that space, it gives you that control, it gives you that independence, which is so important for a lot of people.
And what a great way to invest your money, because over time we can prove that property is a great investment.
Other investments are available.
And long may that continue. So we are literally changing people's lives for the better, and we love doing it.
We do.
I mean, we certainly do have a lot of passion in our business for this. And the ability to think outside the box is where I think we really are setting ourselves apart from the crowd.
I think we'll see more of that as well, actually, over the next few years, not just from us, but from other lenders as well. I kind of envisage that the first-time buyer landscape will not be too dissimilar to like what new build is now, for example, where there's loads of different schemes, and each scheme is appropriate for a cohort of people, but not appropriate for everybody. That's even more important to speak to a broker to navigate those changes, I suppose.
I think what's great looking at the market now, especially as a first-time buyer or any type of buyer really, is the choice that's available now.
Yeah.
Even given a few years ago, there's so much choice. I know there's so much going on in the world, and there's so much up and downs, and people aren't sure what's going to happen next. But having that choice is so important, and you guys being at the forefront of innovation. I'm not going to say that word. I can say I can say innovation. I can't say
innovative. Oh, okay.
I don't even know how you say that. I'm going to practice.
We're going to focus on that.
I'm going to be like taxi drivers practicing in front of the mirror. But yeah, that choice available in the market now is really important for anyone watching. There is, just don't think you can't do something. Don't think you can never buy. Don't think you can't get onto the property ladder, because there are loads of different lenders. There's a whole world away from the high street.
Yeah.
And if you get a no from someone, that's not the end of the journey.
Yeah.
That's really
important.
It's
not a full stop, is it?
Yeah. And so I've sort of answered my own question. One myth you would like to kill forever with the whole property
I guess
buying.
that is one whole myth. I would
them,
maybe also add another one, if I may, that maybe just honing in on a cohort. So self-employed. The self-employed are often still seen as underserved in the lending space. And it's a myth that because you're self-employed that you've got less options available open to you. It might be harder with some lenders, but we treat employed and self-employed the same. So they are vital to our economy, self-employed people, and they're employing other people. They should be afforded the same abilities to home buying as everyone else. Yeah. So that would be another myth because I actually have a friend who literally said that to me. Well, I'm a self-employed gardener, so who is going to lend to me? Well, lots of lenders. Yeah. That's a myth.
Good.
If you had,
that's a good one. Yeah, I think we've uncovered quite a lot of myths today. So affordability is a big one. Thinking like I was chatting to a few friends of mine recently, and they were like, "Oh well, I just can't afford a home, so I won't bother." And actually, it's not that unachievable at all. But I think we've covered that in good amount of detail today.
We have.
That's good.
But also, I think we see quite a lot of foreign nationals as a lender as well. And I think there's probably a large amount of people out there that are in the UK on visas, skilled worker visas. I think there's something like 300,000 IT contractors that are on visas in London alone. And if they want to buy a home here, actually, it's reasonably achievable.
Yeah.
So absolutely can help.
I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
That's been fun.
Time flies. I have a flashing light now.
We're going to now teach you how to say innovative.
Yeah, I can't even get...
You got 20 seconds.
No, I'm not going to do it. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's funny how you get... Anyway, that will be a whole other podcast.
Yes, let's do a podcast on that.
On my word blindness.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much,
Thanks
Sarah.
for having us.
Thanks, Paddy. Really enjoyed that. We have busted myths.
We have. Hopefully.
All over the place.
Hopefully.
So thank you. Really appreciate your time. And thank you guys for watching or listening or wherever you are. Tune in next time to find out who is going to be next on the Coreco Couch.